I'm one of the strongest men to ever walk the earth.
I love Caesar salad.
Hello, it's the Husky Boys. How are you, buddy?
What's up? I'm good, man. Hey, we have a huge announcement coming up. We have the fight between Ian Bagg and Mayhem Miller. Just announced. We've got big pay-per-view money on the line.
That's right.
Ian is going to fight Mayhem Miller.
I love it. I just want to get one shot in. That's all. I want to get one shot in.
That was funny. That was crazy. It was a little intense, but it was fun, man. It was fun. I was glad a computer screen.
We knew what we were expecting, but we got even more. So it's everybody themselves. Yeah, good for him. He's making a living. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
I hope he's enjoying it. That's all I can say.
You're on stage and doing that stuff all the time. You know that feeling when you're in like not necessarily a confrontation, but when you're in a discussion that's like either a disagreement or it's a little heated or whatever, and you get that like flutter in your chest where like all of a sudden everything else kind of zones out and you're like, wah, and it's really of a little shaky, and it seems like you make like quick decisions and stuff, at least for me. Does that dissipate? Like because you see it all the time. So when it happens with you, what's it like?
So with me, I very rarely do I get the fight or flight is what it's called, right? So very rarely do I get that. But when I get that, it's usually when somebody has anger. I didn't have it the other day. I was just bored. I'll be honest with you. I was just like, no, okay. This guy is just going to talk the whole time. So I was just bored. But good for him. Congratulations. Not my cup of tea. That's why there's many brands of tea. Anyways, but I get it. I get it when I see something on social media. I still haven't been able to train myself not to go like, do I run or do I just fight like a motherfucker? Right?
More specific on social media. You're saying like when people talk shit to you, or when like, there's something going on that could involve, like, more specific.
No, more it's about when they talk to me, when they try to make me beneath them.
Yeah.
Right. You know why? Because there's nothing you can do on social media that will let you be the victor. Right. You're going to lose no matter what. So you have the best way to approach it is not to say anything and then just die. Do I do that every time? No. Okay. Sometimes after church, my best thing is to always say, have a hot bath and a good cry. You'll be fine. Right. That's what I usually say. Right. But it's weird. Like in actual on stage, nothing, right. Nothing. But in real life, like online or sometimes I'll be like somebody will say something, you'll be like okay.
You're at like Starbucks.
You get somebody will say something, in traffic or something, like, well, you go home too.
Yeah. And then 5 minutes later you think of the best zinger.
Yeah.
Dude,
and then,
for me,
meanwhile you're on stage and you're able to like pump out 10 within 3 seconds. But how about you? I feel do you get anger, or what do you do?
The social media stuff used to do that to me a lot. I feel very stupid for this. I feel very gullible, and it upsets me. But I don't read my DMs a ton anymore. I only read like if I say something like, hey, how do you think this? Or hey, who wants to do this? If I'm specifically talking to my people or whatever, I'll look in there and I'll read and I'll try and go through. But I used to try and go through all the time just to respond to everybody. And like I would get these
to be a normal human and respond to people, right?
Yeah. And so I get these messages and it would be like, oh, you used to be this and now everyone knows that, or whatever. Like there's like a kernel of something that can strike me as true. And then like then like a bunch of opinion and bullshit and stuff that I know is obviously fake. But then I would like that kernel would always get me to be like, say something, whatever, anything. But it happened to me like 3 times where the person was like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan. I just wrote that so you would respond. That's awesome. And I was like, fuck this guy, man. That's like the worst
I've had it happen.
thing. Oh, that happened to you. Jeez, oh, how does that, doesn't that
I'm a big
feel?
fan. I didn't think you were going to say anything.
Yeah, that just it makes me feel so like a kid who got tricked. Like I get so frustrated with that.
I do think it's like what I said before is we are in our own world. We're able to control everything, right? And you know, if somebody says something, you're able to dissolve it. But online, you can hit them with your 5 best things, and that should destroy somebody and like leave just a thing of ashes. But because it's online, they'll say something afterwards, right?
Right.
So you can win, and but I also think we just get caught in. I'll just say something. I'm not, and now you're in it, right?
Yeah,
So,
we look at it like we're humans having a conversation, but really, we're
no,
not. It's so filtered through so much tech that we don't have to like even this right here. Like if I called you a name or said something mean or whatever,
I
we're
will
here.
sign off.
We're right here. Like we have to deal with each other's face, with each other's reaction, look in each other's eyes. The voice even is a big teller. Like all that stuff really makes you feel like you're a human. And I treat other humans with at least a minimal amount of humanly respect, you know? And
That's why there's such a generation of kids that have a disconnect of being social, right?
well, they got
Because
locked in their house for 3 years too. Like they didn't get to be around anybody for almost 3
but there's always those kids that get kidnapped and locked up for 3 years and they come out normal. So I'm not
Some of them
I'm not
end up doing weird stuff, man.
Yeah, it's weird, but you are right. It's sometimes we try to protect people and it is worse in the outcome, right? With that, like, so like we tried for health and then mental health we didn't pay attention to, right? So yeah, but I just try to just ignore it, or sometimes I'll take a screenshot of it and put it online because I just want to see how people respond. Like yesterday I got one and then it made me laugh. I thought you were a pig when I first seen you. That's what when I first seen your comedy.
Say it again. I thought you were a what?
I thought when I first seen your comedy, I thought you were just a pig. But after watching a lot of your videos, I decided that you're very funny, yet you're still an asshole.
Oh my God.
It was so I'm just like, this is the fan. That's like, what do I'm not responding to it, but I want people to know.
I do that. I like to snag when I get a lot of bear love. I don't know if you're in that realm, but
No.
my DMs are filled with
Instagram or Facebook.
My Facebook got hacked. So anybody on here listening, my Facebook has got a blue check mark saying it's me, but that's not me. That's a bunch. It's political all the time too. It's like all this crazy shit. I know, and it's got a blue check mark. And Facebook will not do anything for it. They won't talk to me about it. They won't stop. They made me change my email 100. I've got like 20 emails just so I can have a stupid fucking Facebook. Anyways,
if there's anybody out there that does IT, we need your help.
Somebody, but either way. But I get a lot of bear love. It's just that's the realm I'm in. I also early in my career I got tricked into taking photos for a bear magazine and website, so that probably didn't help.
Yeah, it's not your Instagram they're showing love to. It's like, hey, this guy's one of us.
Hey, this guy's he's on the website. He's on the website.
It's always real.
Yeah,
he's on Only Bears.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get a lot of that stuff, and some of that stuff is very flattering, very flattering. And I'm like, oh, I should get a little screenshot. Nobody else calls me an Adonis except for men.
That's funny.
It's the truth. I feel pretty.
We all have our different lenses of glasses.
But I'll tell you what, I feel just as pretty when a big hairy man's like, oh my gosh, I
Oh
worship you.
yeah.
I would lick your feet. Then if a pretty girl's like, oh wow, you're kind of cute, I still feel just as pretty. And I'm not gonna do anything with either of them anyway.
You know what? My wife is, she tries to take me to bear bars to get free drinks.
Oh yeah. I used to do that all the time.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh my
Bro,
God.
you should do it. You'll have a good time. You and me should do that. When I come to LA, we'll just have a night. We'll have free drinks. We'll just
Free drinks.
dance. Bro, you could dance like an idiot, and everyone will be like, wow, that's so great.
That's the only way I dance, Robert.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's awesome.
Well,
We should do that. That'll be a fun time.
we should do that. Our guest today is a filmmaker. He has a new film coming out. Robert, you said you got to watch it as well as I watched it. Um, it's called The Man That Saved the World. He's also I first heard of him when he made a film about the Russian Red Army hockey team, and it is one of the best films I've ever seen in my life. Gabe Polsky is his name, and we're going to bring him in right now. Our guest today has a new film coming out this month. It is called The Man That Saved the World. Please welcome Gabe Polsky. Big hand for Gabe, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Gabe,
yeah, it's good to be here.
Gabe, you how long you been making films?
I would say like maybe 15 years.
15 years. And this one, as far as love of, where does it rate on your 15 years of filmmaking?
Oh man, this one I'm still digesting kind of how I feel about it. I'm still bewildered by it, and but I think that it's the most comedic of all the films that I've done, even though it's kind of serious subject matter. I like that it kind of gets that voice out of me, you know?
Yeah.
So you have that voice. I've been following you for a while, and I can tell that you really have that voice. But you have this interesting thing where you find interesting stories. How did you find this young man, old man, whatever you want to call him, that is saving the world?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really search it out. It kind of came to me randomly. I was editing another film, and I was kind of getting to the end of it, and I got a call from a respectable Hollywood producer, this guy Doug DeLuca. He works with Jimmy Kimmel, and uh, you know, he's a little bit of a far out guy, but he just said, Gabe, I heard this really crazy story. You're gonna think it's weird, but I don't know why. I thought of you, and I love your work, and I want you to kind of maybe listen to this story. It is these guys, and so I said, okay. So, anyways, I got on the phone with the protagonist of this story, and he started talking about this prophecy that these indigenous elders of the Amazon came to him and said, we think you're this guy, and this prophecy that we've had for thousands of years that is going to come and unite the tribes of the Amazon and restore the Amazon and save the earth, essentially. And so the guy kind of said, I don't know, I don't think I'm the guy. And ultimately, he kind of said, you know what, after years, he said, you know what, I'm just going to kind of do this. I'm going to go and try and fulfill this prophecy. Now, the guy himself is like a character. He's a fascinating guy. He's lived 100 lives. He's done everything from jewelry design to being a carny to, a prison chaplain to serial killers. He's been everywhere and kind of done everything, and he's quite a character. But I was very skeptical, obviously, and I didn't know what to think or do. But I had this kind of feeling that I should follow it and kind of just see what happens. And I was at a point in my life where, I was a little bit more open-minded and, um,
Can
curious
I
about. Yeah, go ahead.
can I tell you where I actually cared? Like at
Yeah.
first I was just like, this. I'm like, I'm watching this used car salesman. You know where it stopped me? And I was like, I need to know everything. When the violin came out and he played the violin, I was just like, are you
Wow.
serious? This guy made this thing? Like, I thought it was going to be square. Like, I thought when he said he made a violin, I thought it was just going to be like something I made in high school because, and I was just like, I need to know more about it. But the way you did it, now I'm concerned. Like, I'm in this film, and I'm like, I'm, I'm terrified for you the whole time. Have people been saying that to you?
Yeah, I mean, they related to how kind of bizarre the whole thing was, and I mean, I don't know what you're. I mean, where my physical well-being or mentally. I mean,
Everything. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
I didn't know if you're getting kidnapped. I didn't know if you're going to end up in a cult. I didn't
yeah,
I didn't like it. It was crazy.
yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, I got to tell you, even now, I mean, throughout the whole process and journey, I just sort of was scratching my head the whole time, saying, "What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Is this gonna? Where is this going? What?" It was very frustrating, kind of psychically difficult. But at the same time, that's where when you get to those places in life, there's a lot of growth potential too, and when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you learn a lot about yourself, and what you believe in, and also about life, and sort of when you throw yourself into worlds that you're uncomfortable with, and it's you learn a lot. So
It's kind of a cheesy thing for me to say, but I am the kind of the cheesy guy. But
Sure is.
it kind of felt like from what I saw there that was almost like your projection for everyone else to see. Of course, I don't get to decide what you're trying to show, but from my viewer's perspective, it really felt like a lot like what it's a mix of what Ian and you were both saying there. At the beginning, it was like, okay, what are we doing? This guy's obviously full of it. And then you see a little bit more and a little bit more. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is what you wanted us to see. Like, don't judge a book, accept that there's things you don't understand, and also, yeah, that maybe this guy's just a weirdo, but also he's got a good soul and he's trying to do good things, and like there's a bunch of layers to it. And I was wondering, when you're making it and you're in those moments and you're having those hard moments where you're finding out who you are, do you feel like that's going to be on the screen, or that's just you in the moment and I'm doing this on the camera separate? Like, do you feel that?
yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think you guys are kind of performers too, but yeah, it's
Kinda.
you're in the moment, but but there is something kind of observing outside of yourself that's like, is this interesting? What is this? How is it going to look, and all that? So you do kind of separate yourself sometimes, but then because there's a camera on all the time, you just know that the camera is gonna capture a lot of stuff, even that you didn't maybe necessarily observe outside
Yeah.
yourself. Uh, so yeah, it was yeah.
You could feel the layers in the moment, though. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely, and the more experience you have, yeah, the more you can kind of widen that ability to observe, like what is happening here and the layers underneath it. So yeah, I did feel that.
That's good.
And
It
the
came out really
complexity,
well.
the weirdness and complexity of it all. We live in a kind of crazy world, and and this story kind of takes you through that, kind of where you're questioning, what is all this? What do I believe, and why, and how confusing it could all be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I I'm curious how much was left on the floor that you really wanted to put in that just didn't fit.
Yeah, so the main character, Patrick McCollum, I mean, like I said earlier, he has like thousands of stories, like, and they're all kind of interesting, impressive, funny, weird, like, to give you an example, like there was one story he talks about how he basically learned a lot of what life through kind of working in a carnival. And so when he
Oh
was a
boy.
young man, he basically dropped out of school and basically went on the carnival circuit with his uncle. And he talks about, all the freaks that he became friends with and what they taught him. And he married a prostitute when he was like 13, essentially 13 years old, and it was the first love of his life. I mean, he learned how to, like, he's not like a con artist, but how to talk to people, how to get people's attention, and sort of showmanship and telling stories, things like that, super interesting. But yeah, so I wanted to put a lot of those stories because they're so colorful. And he talks about getting bit by a shark. I mean, getting hit, struck by lightning. I mean, just like one thing after the other, like unbelievable. And so yeah, I couldn't put a lot of those in just because it sort of drags the story down. And
Right.
but they're amazing. You can sit for days, and after a while you just get so exhausted and kind of almost you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
fatigue, yeah, for sure. I mean, and
Yeah.
then you've got to be the one who's like, all right, collect all this, leave this out, but hopefully the
Yeah.
lines still connect the dots. So
Yeah.
it's a ton, and then it's one man, but it's one man who's lived a very long and crazy life.
Yeah.
I was wondering, and tell me if I'm reading too much in, or if anybody's even said this. If you're not the man that saved the world by making this movie about a guy that thinks he's the guy that's going to save the world, do you know what I mean? Because you're going to get this what's happening across to more people than he ever is. Like, he may be able to put people in the room, but at the end of the day, it takes a population to get change, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see
Sorry, I didn't mean to
how
put
the
that much pressure on you.
no,
Hey,
I
buddy.
mean,
Hey,
we'll
buddy. Are
see
you
how the
Jesus
movie.
Christ?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how the movie does, and see what kind of change actually happens in general. But the movie, although it kind of, you know, talks about the Amazon and what's going on there and the destruction there, I mean, I think it just kind of leaves you with a lot to think about. And it's a force of good. The guy's an inspiring guy, and it's positive, it's funny, it's weird,
It's really
bizarre,
funny.
and you kind of think about a lot of things. The Amazon, yeah, it would be great, but also like prophecy and all that. I mean, I don't know where you guys stand on kind of I don't know what you call it, paranormal or psychic phenomenon or
Robert
prophecy.
more than me.
Yeah,
I
you
believe
know,
stuff. Yeah, I mean,
See,
stuff.
look at those eyes. Look at those eyes light up. He's like, oh,
We're talking about stuff. I like stuff.
is it because Robert, have you witnessed it or had sort of psychic type things happen?
Not necessarily psychic things. I grew up in Santa Cruz, California, raised by hippies, and then went to Arkansas to go to school and had a big shift in culture and everything. And I studied religion all the time. I mean, if we're gonna be serious about it, I used to be upset at God as a kid. I was upset. And so then that drove me to studying. And in college, I studied history. And when you study history in Arkansas, you have to study the Bible with it. They use it as part of history. So like I did Bible studies, I did history, and then finished school in Oregon. And I've always, I mean, there's too many things out there, like too many examples of too many things. And it could be a lot of explanations, but it's as simple as we don't understand something out there that's it's got a lot of weird crazy powers and stuff. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I believe that we can talk telekinetically and all that kind of stuff if we took
yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
and then I'm on the other side. I just pay taxes.
Yeah. Hey, I pay my taxes, all right? Don't put that on me. Don't you put that on me.
Yeah. Robert does, yeah. He's very open to that, and you seem open to that, and I'm more like skeptical. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I love this movie. Like when you sent it to me, I started watching it, and I was just like, I had to do other things. I was like, I was supposed to do other things, but I kept on watching the movie. It got to me. It was so interesting, but I also have knowing your work before, I was very interested in it because you went to Russia at some point, right? So
Yeah.
you're not afraid to go to these places that most people won't go to, right? You're just like, let's do it.
Well, I think it's like, like I said earlier, I mean, it's like I have this need to kind of
For speed.
experience as much as I can in this life. I mean, some people are even way more extreme, but for whatever reason, it kind of, I feel like it helps me kind of really understand what the world is about and what there is to experience in this lifetime.
I think it's more extreme a guy like you going to the Amazon with a guy with bad knees. Like I think that's more extreme than jumping off, like doing base jumping. Like he's the guy that's gonna get you home, and he's got two
Yeah,
bad wheels on him. And I was looking, and I'm like, oh God, please be okay. I knew you were gonna be okay, but at the same time,
yeah.
what was it like being in that situation?
Well, it wasn't like really life or death, to be honest, but
Are you sure?
yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just being naive, but it wasn't like we're in the absolute middle of the Amazon, like where no one's around, it was more kind of closer to civilization. I just,
Okay.
you know,
Just so
but
you know, naive people never think they're being naive. So
yeah,
once
I
you get
know,
that little check mark, you're okay.
I know, I know. Yeah, and there's been plenty of times, even like Russia and different places where, I was probably being a little naive, but you know,
But that's what creates art.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah,
Yeah. I got a question for you. You did it's super awesome. Rough House is connected with this. I
yeah,
I love the guys. I talk to almost all of them all the time still, send each other dirty photos and stuff, teasing each other. But I was curious, how did you get them on and what did they have to do with it?
yeah. So I have a friend. His name's Scott MacArthur. He's from Chicago. He's an actor. He's kind of an eccentric, interesting guy. And I showed Scott this movie, an early cut, and he's just like, oh, love the movie, and he's like, yeah, what are you doing with it? Well, at the time, I was just like trying to figure out like how to get it out there. I just finished the movie, I made it independently, and nowadays you kind of have to have all the bells and whistles and stuff like that. So I was just, you know,
Not one car chase.
exactly right. So. So he said, oh, well, you should show it to Rough House. He also was on Righteous Gemstones, Scott, and he got to know Danny pretty well and Brandon, and I was like, yeah, well, yeah, actually that would be great, because it signals that this is an entertaining film as well. It's not just like some serious movie about the Amazon. I want it
Yeah.
to be bigger, and
And they've done a lot of stuff similar, not the same, but they're in that world too, where they do Florida Man and they do a lot of different things. They're not just straight comedy, or they did
yeah.
Halloween and all those other things, but they've done stuff in kind of a similar wheel well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they do a lot of things. So yeah, and I had met David Gordon Green in New Orleans a long time ago. I was shooting Bad Lieutenant. I produced with Nick Cage and Werner Herzog. I'd met David Gordon Green, but hadn't talked to him in kind of a while. But still, I emailed David, and Scott got in touch with Brandon, who I actually went to high school with and forgot. But
Went to
we
high school with Brandon. That's badass.
yeah. Yeah, I went to high school, and then And so, yeah, they just saw the movie and were like, this is great. Well, how can we help? And that kind of started off. And I thought, well, it'd be great to, kind of, I think their branding could help the movie, just signaling what it is, So we have a lot of different. It's cool because we also have Peter Farrelly, who's an executive producer who I ran into too. Again, it's serendipitous. I ran into him outside of a theater in Ojai, and I just like, man, I'd love for you to see this thing. And he's like, this is great. What do you need? These guys are just great people.
That's got to feel good when people like that are telling you your
It
work
does.
is good.
It does, especially when you get rejected by festivals and all the other crap. So, but
Some little weasel trying to make a name. When the big dogs are like, yeah, your stuff's good. Yeah.
It helps. It helps keep you going,
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
So they're just like, being helpful in the marketing and release, and however they could be helpful in getting it out there. Just being supportive.
Are you feeling good about all that? Like, we're putting it out and stuff like that? How does it compare to your other ones that you've put out that you've produced on your own?
Yeah, so I basically made all my films independently for whatever reason. I mean, maybe because they are a little bit outside of the box. So I made them and then had to sell them, or in some cases release them. It's going well. We're I've got a great partner on this, and we're going to be in theaters nationwide, and we're doing kind of a hybrid of events, screenings in different cities like Seattle, Portland, San Rafael, like Charleston, a lot of different places. We're doing big events where we screen and have music and Q&As and stuff like that. And then some are traditional runs. And so we're not going to be releasing it kind of like a lot of films. They just kind of go in 500,000 screens and then they're out like within 3 weeks or something. We're going to be.
You're going to do a different. Is it going to be different, like staggered more?
Yeah, it'll be a slower, so we could really fill those theaters and create kind of word of mouth. And
are you doing it in Boise? Because I know a guy that would be a great Q&A monster man right over there.
Amazing. Yeah, because it's one of the Robert, you're
there.
Yeah,
American Monster says the word.
Are you in, Robert?
Well, I'll be all about it, man. I'll take 3.5 grams and we'll bring God into the conversation.
Oh, okay. So you're a fellow mushroomman.
My friend, when we get off, I'll tell you all about it. I got a book coming out.
Okay, yeah. Well, I love it. Talking about opening, that's where you start to see that there's more to this than we see, in reality,
Oh, okay. Trust me, I was just like, every time you guys had a little bit of tea, I was just curious.
I wonder if we took you out camping, Ian, and we gave you the God dose 3.5 and we hung out and had a conversation with Allah or God or whoever you wanted to, would you feel any differently? Have you done that? Like,
no,
not a party setting. I'm not talking about like girls and boys and beer. I'm talking about like an inner focus.
We already did some when I was younger and it didn't go well. So that's where I'm at in this situation. Like everybody else talks about how much they laugh. I just kept running down the street, going from arcade to arcade back in early 1990, and trying to find the right video game that would tell me I wasn't going to die. Anyways.
No. I know that. I've had that too when I was younger, and I was very scared of any psychedelics, like very scared. And I swore to myself I'd never do it again and whatever, but I did somehow get that courage, and
my mom told me to be worried about the Moonies, and you guys are them.
Everybody's afraid of going crazy. They think and there's
that's acid though. I mean, acid's a lot different. And like mushrooms, I've got a lot of experience with mushrooms. A lot. I was raised by hippies, I'm telling you. But I had the same thing, Ian. My first time, we don't have to get too crazy into it, but I had a lot of rough stuff going on in my house. And so I took it, and I remember just feeling like the end of the world, and I didn't do it again for 10 years at least. But then if you do it in the right situation and you do it the right way, it can really kind of let you know how we're all connected.
Everybody always says we have to go camping, though. That's the other thing.
You don't have to be camping. We could go to the beach, but you're going to end up having a 4-hour conversation with whistlers in Venice. That's always fun, though.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to, like, you know, have the desire to kind of either expand your mind or kind of be open to kind of other ways of thinking and seeing things that
Right.
that you know, like, are you curious about, you know, the unseen and spirituality? You know, if you're like, look, I really just want to be grounded in this reality right now, and I have no curiosity.
I am grounded. I'm more the person that is, hey, this is it.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, this is it. Do it. Not worried about what's next. I'm worried about wasting this.
But mushrooms aren't what's next. Mushrooms are showing you how much more is in this right here.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, when I take mushrooms,
that's exactly what a drug dealer says.
Yeah. Just smoke this one crack rock, all right? I'm telling you, you're gonna be like Superman.
You can have it free 3 times, but the next 5 times.
Man, if you watch any Cops episode, everybody on crack is strong as fuck. I'm telling you.
I love it. So can I add? So you're like that. What age did you become like that?
Well, actually, you know, related to the film, I mean, it's only in the last few years, you know.
So it's got a lot to do with the film.
The film kind of started me down the road. I was always curious, but I was scared, you know. And I played, you know, college hockey at Yale and didn't really, you know, I felt that you know, that the you know, psychedelics or whatever, it's not good. In hindsight, I think that actually, I think it could improve, you know, performance, but that's a different story. But anyways, yeah, only the last few years have I started, you know, I don't know if the right word experimenting, but just being curious about like various psychedelics and stuff like that. So, you know, in the movie, the journey, you know, I would say it started me down the road, and I don't want to hang all that responsibility on the movie and the journey, but yeah, recently, you know, but I'm not like, again, I wouldn't consider myself like
you're
like a hippie guy, but yeah, I'm just like a curious guy. I think if you're curious, you know,
it'd be awesome. Just suddenly dreads just fall from it. I wouldn't care myself.
I know, right? I'm just in denial, right?
Yeah,
just another couple years, another couple grams. We're good.
Just be yourself. What years did you go to college in Yale?
So I graduated in 2002.
Nice.
Hockey at Yale, man. That is so fucking badass. So badass. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Were you full ride, or what were you? What were you?
So they have it at Yale, that at the Ivy Leagues, they have like financial aid. They don't give scholarships. So they look at your
no wonder Trump hates them.
Yeah, they look at
some of them, right?
You have to earn it.
You can't make a joke about the 3-year lockdown and then Trump and then this now. And I feel like everyone's gonna hate me for not even saying anything.
To whatever, mushroom head.
Right? Yeah, I'm good. That's Ivy Leagues it's so badass too. It's like those. I played football. I played hockey. I was a center. I played for a long time for the Mini Sharks. It was really fun. But like when you're in sports in college and you're like barely getting through and it feels terrible, everyone's always reminding you that there's dude in the Ivy Leagues right now that are taking real college courses and they're getting like real actual learning and all that stuff done while paying for their own school. So you guys, even to other people playing in the SEC or playing anywhere in football, we still look at you guys like I don't know.
It's probably a
Flip of
little
the sword.
harder,
There you go.
but there are guys of the team, like I would say half the team, that did take kind of bullshit courses, that
Smart.
that were designed for hockey players or whatever, But it
Yeah.
was tough. It was really difficult to do both, because you want to kind of see where you could go with hockey, and then also, don't want to waste that education because it's just a waste if you're just, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
to even because you get in there, most of the guys on the hockey team, because of hockey, you're not like the rest of the people there are like ace their SATs. They're just like, insanely academically smart. So, most of the hockey player, it's impossible to do amazing at everything. So
What's
you
it
don't have.
like when you're in college at a big university like that with a historic program, like the support and like everything, like from not just helping you out with school, but like in life, like in football, we weren't allowed to have a job when we were on scholarship. So there's always a way to make money, and there's always like, oh, if you look out your window at this time, and if the sprinklers are on, then you did your job. Or and then other stuff too, like the support of the community and of course the fans, the girls, all that kind of stuff. What's that like at like Yale? Because I mean, it's not like you were playing cricket. You were playing like a real popular, tough sport in a very big school.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the girls, nothing against it, but the selection wasn't amazing, I would say. Uh
Ian would have
and
been the hottest chick at Yale.
oh yeah, she
Oh,
would
I
be
would have been
great.
a beautiful girl.
That's my
Yeah.
girl.
Uh but yeah, the support, I mean, there is the support, all especially with like alumni too, and getting jobs over the summer. And, I don't think a lot of guys were making too much money while playing and going to school, but yeah, same thing. There were different ways and programs. It's just you just run out of time. It's so hard I would say the biggest thing is being able to balance your time, which is in life when, when you're out of school. I mean, that's hard for all of us, right? Just figuring that out. And so when you go to a school like that and try and like really be good at hockey, and then all that work, and that's the trickiest part.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot
It's
of time
amazing also when
consuming
you're
stuff.
playing, but when you don't make the lineup sometimes, oh, it can be depressing, because you're putting all that time in, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah. 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 Sports is mostly about disappointment.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Physical exertion, only to find out the guy who doesn't practice is still better than you.
yeah,
That's awesome. I'm terrified here because I'd seen you grab your forehead, and I feel like we're just going to make you microdose the rest of the day trying to get rid of your hockey career. Um, the film is amazing. Tell people where they can see it, where they can find it, when it's coming out, what to do if they want to be in some of these events that you're doing. Like tell people about the events.
yeah. Well, we're next weekend we're going to be in Ojai on October 12th, at LA October 17th for the week, and then we go to Seattle, Portland, New York, and on. But basically, you could, the schedule's on the website, themanwhosavestheworld.com, and then the socials, Who Saves the World. And essentially, it'll just be rolling out everywhere. It'll even come back to LA. It'll come back to a lot of cities that we did events in
Mm-hmm.
prior, that we'll come back and do theatrical runs. So it's going to be around for a while.
So smart. That's so
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, it's just that's the way is you got to do it, especially with like smaller films. You don't have like the big studio machine behind you. You gotta really build the audience kind of slowly. Then when you have that critical mass of people
Right.
who've heard about it, then you go wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't run it into the ground in 12 hours
Yeah,
and then say it wasn't worth it, right?
yeah,
So yeah. I think that's so smart. Was that Rough House's idea or was that yours? What how
No, that was like I don't want to take credit, but basically it was the plan that we came up with the distributor about how to get this thing out there, and they're known for doing kind of these style of releases, you know.
nice, nice, nice. We thank you for coming on. I really do. Like I've been such a fan for so long, and when we talked and you said, "Hey, you want to watch this movie?" I felt like it was really cool that you reached out and said, "Hey, take a look at this movie," because I wouldn't consider us friends. We're just kind of like ships in the night. We talk each other every once in
I
a
remember
while.
seeing you at the Friars Club for the first time. It was such a
No
long
way.
time ago.
In LA?
Yeah, it was long time ago, like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like right when I
2004.
moved there, and I was like, man, this guy is hilarious, you know. I think that's where,
Show's over. Good night.
yeah,
Uh, we'll talk afterwards. We got to get you out to a show again. So yeah,
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 I want
yeah,
to.
yeah. And how do we get a re-release of the Russian movie?
Oh, Red Army.
Yeah, because it is amazing.
Before you were even on, Ian said it might be the best film ever made.
I
Before you were even on, he's not just trying to glaze you.
Well, okay, so Sony Classics released it and they still have it, and I guess it's like past the windows, but so you can rent and purchase it, but I always bug them like, man, you got to get this on like Netflix because, you know, it just has to like, get those eyeballs, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, why
I'm gonna
wouldn't they want to, buy it? I mean, it was on many lists as like some, greatest sports film of all time, but they just sitting on it. I don't know.
Even
I
getting
gotta
it on YouTube would be better than not
I
having it
know.
available.
I
I
would
know.
like to
It's
put you
it's
in touch with.
available, but it's just like not on big streaming platforms. So like, of course, no
Yeah.
one cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to put you in touch with the boys from Spitting Chicklets. I need to get there you because Paul's a huge mushroom fan. You're a huge mushroom fan. He's
Yeah,
he that they would be blown away by that movie. If there's a way we can get it to them to watch. So
let's
yeah,
do that. I mean, I
let
love those guys. They're
and then
hilarious too. Yeah,
I
and
think you should be there.
Sean Avery, do you know him?
Yeah,
He saw the movie and loved it. He's always on that show too, and I'm doing like a Q&A for the movie, which I'd love to do with you guys. I know I'm going to do one with Robert, but uh
Robert Boise.
I
yeah,
haven't done
Spitting
mushrooms
Chicklets would be
in
great.
ever. But-
I'd
I
love to know what
if
those guys think of the movie. And they've seen my hockey movies.
yeah, okay, let's figure it out.
Awesome.
Let's yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for coming on.
so
Yeah, thanks,
so
dude.
grateful, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And thank you for just making, what I mean, but like, it's great. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's awesome
Congratulations.
there's someone out there making that stuff, man. Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That was fun. The movie's great. His other movies are great. He was fun to talk. Did you have a good time, Robert?
That was awesome. How long ago did you see that the Russian one?
The Russian one I may have seen about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. It's all about the Russian Red Army and yeah, just how they trained and how they really changed the face of hockey and yeah, it was just crazy.
That's
So
so awesome that we get to have
and
somebody on here like that.
the thing is, it wasn't very the guy that started it was not a Soviet guy, like not a communist,
Yeah.
and you could tell by the way, and then they kind of pushed him out and put it their own like what was the KGB guy in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's so crazy. But they needed the guy originally to get them going, you know?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was all about fun and stuff like that. It wasn't that seriousness that you would see in those Russian teams later on. And so
Yeah. Well, you hear a lot about that stuff too. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience in like our Olympics and stuff. I know Olympic athletes. I know a lot of guys that have been there and done it and stuff. But like when it comes to I just say that because we say what I'm about to say about Russia and China a lot, but I would not be surprised if we did it as well. But in those countries, like the sports, when you're representing the whole nation, it takes on a different meaning. It's like from very little, they're snagged up and like it's been mostly proven that from a young age, they start giving them extra help and little things, and they're like, and like even if you're like, say, a figure skating team, I watched, like I said, I grew up, my sisters were figure skaters, I had to figure skate. I watched a bunch of this stuff when I was a kid, and there'd be like a 6-year-old girl from China who's like just amazing. You get out, she gets out there and she's like triple axles, a double sow cow, and she's like balance, all this different stuff. And then I'm back waiting, right? And then she comes off, and all these adults are just like, yeah, like telling her how garbage she is. And it's like, it's insane the amount of pressure they put on kids. And like I said, most certainly it's happening here too. Most certainly. But it's I think
it's with those kind of countries, it's more out in the open that they're doing that with them, right?
It's state sponsored. Ours is like a personal family thing. Like, you're my boy, you're gonna represent me. And them, it's like you represent,
and then it gets to a point.
All of us.
I read this thing about I think it's Switzerland, where their gold medal count has gone up over the last 10 years or 15 years. I can't remember how many years it is, and it's because they've taken away at like below 10 years old. I think 10 or 12 years old. When you play a game, it's not competitive. It's to get kids to learn the game. And then because not everybody matures at the same time. But if a younger kid that isn't maturing gets put off the game, you never know how good he's going to be.
For sure. That happens a lot. And then also I see there's two sides of that coin, right? Like, my son is very much on the side that you're talking about. He loves the sports. He's all about it. The only thing I could do is screw it up if I'm a jerk, right?
Yeah.
But then I do see other kids that are like, their parents don't care, they don't care. And if their parents were a little bit more like, wow, you're doing great, or a little bit more enthusiastic, then they'd be more enthusiastic. So it's like, 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. We got to focus on our own individual kids and make sure that they're developing. It's awesome that they're doing that, That's cool.
Yeah, I love it.
And if it's working, that's freaking awesome. That's great. Their gold medal count's going up. But
that's what they were saying. For the size of the population, their gold medal count is crazy. Anyways,
we're all wrapped, buddy. And next week, we've got my buddy Eddie Hall coming in. You're gonna come in and he's gonna explain to us how he cheated.
Nice. So we're getting back to Husky next week. I love it.
Oh, we're gonna be the Husky. We're gonna be 4XL Husky.
I love it.
Speaking of which, how you look great, buddy. I don't say it every week. I'm not a like, mirror for you all the time, but you do look good, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yeah. We're just kind of doing the do as we go along. So I'm trying not to. A lot of people, just want to get rid of it right away. I'm trying to make sure just kind of do it at a steady pace, so I don't have to worry about things. So yeah.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, buddy.
Great, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love it, buddy.
We get you some crack, we'll be great. We're good.
Yes. Give me real thin.
We're going on crack riots.
Love it, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Later, buddy.